Story number 5. Is it time to be religious, informed, or both? Now, this story surfaced in because religion has always played a vital part in morality, ethics, how people behave, how people treat each other, and it plays a big part in how we act. What's more important to us? Our character. We see people who are entertainers all of a sudden go back to religion to keep their sanity or get back to a moral ground. We see entertainers like Kanye West, who has made hardcore rap music, now is using gospel music. We even seen him when he came out with Jesus Walks. But he's developed this interesting way of getting people's attention when it comes to the religious aspect of life. It has nothing to do with academics, but it has something to do with religion when you speak the name of not only prophets but goddesses, gods, and you bring people into the avenue of religious and moral thinking, moral law. Academics will tell you that people who do this are different, but he's I always say you can't discredit for somebody who goes back to their roots or who goes back home to where it all started. Everybody does it. We're not all perfect, but his Sunday services have been drawing thousands, and it's been getting some buzz, especially in Detroit. The reason why story number 5 is an amazing story is because they've even brought in talks about the Inca. The Inca were the civilizations in places like Peru, or countries like Peru and South America. So they used to talk about how child sacrifice they had child sacrifices all over their empire. And what's amazing about story number 5 about being religious is that there is a side to religion that a lot of people are not talking about. They are afraid to talk about, and that is normal human behavior. There are some strange things that go along in religious ceremonies, and the story of child sacrifices came up. Some people will tell you that the Bible even tells you that there are false prophets, that there are prophets and false prophets. But the story number 5 has the potential to get people to understand why religious people or biblical scholars or people who understand the laws of nature are doing the things that they're doing. Exorcism, priests pouring holy water over cities where people are getting drunk and fornicating all over the place. People who understand moral code of conduct, if you read the text in all of its entirety, in every book, it talks about the forces of good and evil, every civilization. But they're also talking about the blood of children and how there are now poisonous flowers growing in Guatemala, and this may be why people are flocking to get in America. This is not only interesting, but it gets the attention of people who understand, who try to study nature. And what we're seeing here is that the land is not only developing coca plants, but they're saying that the flowers that are blooming are now blooming to be poisonous flowers, and it's a big topic of discussion. So when you look at this type of ingenuity of nature, we have to bring up religious law. It does say in Scripture that we were born from the dust, and the dust that we shall return. So is this karma? When you look at abortions, where does that negative energy go? Or where does that energy go when it does not come into the world? Off of decisions that we human beings make. Is this why evil exists? Story number 5 is a very important story, and that's why I set number 5. It almost made it to the top 3 because it gets people to understand that intellect has to come from somewhere. We have to hear these voices that are telling us to create things or to do things. What motivates me to do this show? To keep you informed, to keep you enlightened, to keep you to understand that there's more to life than what you may be thinking, which is yourself. I have to sacrifice my time, my money to keep you informed. And that's why story number 5 is beneficial, because it tells me, it shows me that sometimes in life that I even have to weigh the scales. I have to answer to somebody. Federal judge rules in favor of Catholic adoption agencies in religious liberty case against Michigan. This also, when you talk about even religious circles like the different denominations, how they're being targeted on how they're handling certain issues with the priest scandal, molesting children, how Christians, what they think that which are normal human instincts, how it can cause them to go insane if that beast is contained. Women, men, they want to do what feels good, but sometimes discipline plays a big role in how people are raised. Pain is inevitable. It will come to us eventually. We cannot live in a utopia. Rich people have to donate. They have to give back to the community to invest back. So it's a recycling of not only wealth, but it's a recycling of investing. Why you should invest in your community, invest in the people. Why you should see a return on your investment, a return on behavior. What's more important to the student, the book or the dollar? You will see something in story number 5, and that's why it has the inkling, the tickling, the sense. It brings the senses to light. Even when you look at Iran and how it's now being the world's fastest growing church, despite no buildings. They're starting to develop churches. Women are going underground, and they are developing a Christian society churches in Iran underground, according to some report. They're getting fed up with the Islamic religion because of its brutality against women. So you're starting to see new fashions of worship, but they're still the same. The text is still the same. But people are starting to understand that there is more going on in life, and that you do reap what you sow. You do have to understand that even science cannot explain everything that happens on this planet. Tennessee high school student defends prayer before football games after an atheist group complains. Child crushed by a vehicle survives and credit Bible verses for saving him. So you look at these stories at number 5, and why it is the root cause of why every person may become saved, may become humble, and may become grateful for every little bit, even everything that they have in this world that we live in. Story number 5 is not only a healing story, but it's a story that is about humility and about decency, and it gives us to realize miracles in the end. So pros and cons will equal out, and it equal out to a miracle. That's my equation, and that's why story number 5 crept its way in. You could even be a biblical scholar. You could be in church every week, but your moral code of conduct and how you view life in the end may come from what's inside, which is your heart. And anybody who reads the Bible may interpret it that way, or read any religious text who reinterpret it for the good of everybody, may understand why story number 5 is important and why it crept into the top 8. I can only do or show you what I've read, and I'm showing you that there is something in story number 5. Is it time to be religious, informed, or both? And when I say both, that means that each has its own benefits. Understanding the history of how we've come to where we're at today is very beneficial, and that's why story number 5 has the substance and the ingredients it needs to develop a good conversation, productive conversation, hopefully not a debate, but a conversation that develops peace, happiness, and joy. I'll stick to that. You're the Mediator with me, Brown West. If you want to be a contributor, help out anyway, all you have to do is visit www.method8inc.com, method8.com, where you can buy something, click on something, watch something, read something, or to sponsor a program. I have to remind you that I just navigate the news just for you. I'm just stuck in the middle between two sides, right and left, battling every day. So the news journalists and the people on the front lines, they deserve all the credit. I just navigate, read, do all types of art for the community, for the world, as I try my best to. And if you want to help out my cause, help me out in any way, and you get something out of it. All you have to do is visit www.method8inc.com, method80.com, where you can buy something, click on something, watch something, read something, or to sponsor the program. Every little bit counts. So like I said, if you want to be a contributor, help out anyway, check out the stories that did make it in or almost made it in. You may just be on the site, may want to watch something. If you want to be a contributor, help out the cause, help out me, the man who keeps this thing going. All you have to do is visit www.methodinc.com, methodinc.com, where you can buy something, click on something, watch something, read something, or just sponsor a program.
If you need help, then dial your operator.
Have no fear, fellow citizens. The Mediator is here.